Hi friends, welcome to Digital Tech by Vignesh Balaji. So in this video you are going to see how to use state in React.js, and as you know, in React.js use state and state both means the same. Like use state is a hook and state is the main building block for a particular component which defines the data that is gonna hold for a very long time. So in the screen that I'm currently showing is a Create React tab, which is CLI. So like other CLIs like Angular and like Vue.js, React came up with the CLI a couple of years back. So where you can easily bootstrap your application and you can start working on that. So it comes with lot of features like adding the styles, adding the assets, and many other configurations built in, and you can also add ESLinting and prettier and every other stuff to the existing the boilerplate that you create from the Create React app. So, and coming to the next thing, like you have to install this Create React app by doing npm install -g create react app. Once you are done with that, you can type the command which I am currently showing, npx create react app, and the project name that you have to provide for that particular project. So you can name it as whatever you want, and you can type this command, and this will build your basic boilerplate. So currently I'm going to create a new project named React.js tutorial. So you can directly give create react app and the name of the project that you want to give. So once you type this and hit enter, it will start generating the necessary configuration files for the project. So it will take some time. So like at least say 1 minute or 1.5 minutes to depending on your internet. So it will once it is completed, you can able to spin up the project and you can see that. So we are done with the installation. Now we are gonna do cd to the project, that is React.js tutorial, and we are gonna type ls to see the structure, and we are going to do npm start. So this will spin up this project and serve it in the localhost 3000. So by default it is 3000, and you can also modify whatever the port and the command npm start. And now actually this is showing my old project, and you can able to see the new boilerplate template in the Chrome browser. So it will take some time to build the project and serve it in the port 3000. Yeah, you can see the basic template that has been shown up here. So this is the basic template that React provides, Create React app provides. So you can remove the unwanted code. Say I'm removing the header over here, so it is not needed for this particular demo. So I'm just removing over this, and you can start writing the code whatever you want in this side. And it provides an like custom structure. You can change it accordingly. So coming to this flow chart, so I have created an flow chart. So what are the different types that you can give to the use state hook? So there are 5 types. So one is object, one is boolean, one is number, one is string, and one is array. So these are the 5 types that you can give to an use state hook. So you can initialize, or you can or you can initialize with an empty value, whatever you want you can do. So that is also possible with use state hook. And so if you see this use state hook, right, so you will, it's basically a function that comes from the React.js library which returns an array. So I'm going to make a console log, and I'm going to show it to you guys. So now we are back to this this app.js file, and I'm removing the unwanted code. So now I'm importing the React and the use state function from the React.js library, so that we can able to use that in the app file. So the app component basically. So app is the root file. So now we are going to declare a state const, and we are going to use state. So whatever the use state function returns, that will be stored in state. So now I'm going to console log the state, and let us see in the console what does it shows us, right? As I said earlier, the useState functions always return an array, so that is array of length 2. So the first one will be the value and second will be a function. So whatever the value of type, whatever I mentioned in the flowchart, you can define it, that will comes as a value, and the second argument is whatever is the function. So now we are giving it as 0, 0 is number, and you can modify the 0th element by the second one, that is the function that is coming part of the index position 1. So similarly you can do it for boolean, and similarly you can do it for objects, arrays, and everything. So that's what I'm showing over here. So like you can see the array of 0, and similarly you can do it for the string as well. So now here what we will do is, like we have seen, it will return an array of length 2. So now we are gonna destructure with the value name, so that is I'm going to give a count, and the second one is a function, so we are going to give it as a set count. So try to use this naming convention across the what are the React projects that you do. So this is what the naming convention will be for different types of use state. So it will be first will be an say example count, then it's set count. So if it is name, it will be set name, like that. So now what we will do, we will create an like h4 tag to display this count with a label count. Yeah, now you can able to see the count and the initial value that we have assigned in the state. So count is equal to 0. The next thing that we are gonna do is that we are gonna add a button, and that will say an increment count, and it will have an on click function. So what does that do is, like, it will use the set count function to increment the count of that particular count state. So that is what I'm gonna showing here. So basically this is simple example. I'm trying to explain, guys, how this is gonna work, right? So it's a very simple example what you're seeing here. So now we have seen for the type number, right? So next thing what we are gonna see is that we are gonna see for the type boolean. So similarly for whatever the count and set count I declare, I will be doing the same thing with a different name for the boolean type. So we are going to keep a name visible. So and the next function probably will be set visible. So that is how you have to name the do the naming convention for any of the state variables that you give. So I have given visible and set visible, so which is equal to use state of boolean. So boolean by default I'm going to set it as false. So yeah, that is use state, and you have to give it directly as false. Yeah, so what I've done is that I removed the old function, and I'm gonna do the set visible function inside the on click. So on click I'm going to make it as true, so that this particular count will be visible. So I'm also doing in the line number 11, I'm doing visible ampersand operator to hide that. So once I click, it will become true, so that you can able to see that particular h4 element. So yeah, so that is what. So this is the type for boolean. So now we have seen for number and boolean. Next we are going to see for the string. For that what I'm going to do is that similarly I'm going to give a name, like as I said, you have to give the name. So probably I'm going to give name, and then next will be a set name. So that is equal to use state of empty string. So this is for the type string which I am saying. Yeah, now I have defined a use state of type string. Then I'm going to define an input which takes a type text. and you have to define the name. So that name will be obviously the name, and then we are going to have the value. Value will be the name. So whatever the state variable name should be, the value is equal to name. Then we are gonna give the onChange function. So onChange function will take an event though, so that particular event will like say it has like a target object, so inside where you can get the value and the name, so that based on that you can actually dynamically assign the value to the text box. So this is the function. So I'm here using the setName function, will directly assign the value to the name state. Yeah, so now if you see when I type, it automatically accepts the change and it will be added to those text box as well. So this is how basically whatever the React components you use does that in behind the scenes, but it is not visible in from the library point of view, right? So it is the implementation details are hidden. That's what. So now what I did, I removed the old code. So I'm just gonna start with the next type, that is array. So how to play with array? So here I'm defining item and set item. So set items is like where it takes an array, empty array. Then we are having so what we are going to achieve here is that we will be having an like text box where you enter a checklist, then you press enter, that will be added to the array list. So that is item. So that we are passing the array as a prop to the second component that we are going to create in next few minutes, and we are going to pass it as a prop. So you will understand the concept of prop. So what I'm going to do, similarly in the last video what we did, you created an input and we added an like empty string. Similarly I'm doing it over here. So I'm gonna do form submit. So I'm creating a form element, inside that we will have an input. So this more or less same, just like I'm doing it for once again for this checklist functionality. So now is same, like you have to give all the input type checklist. So and value is equal to checklist and name, everything over here. So onChange also you have to like say have the event, and you have to pass those event.target.value. Similarly what we did. Yeah, now we have added the input, and we have to add a form submit, right? So on submit you have to add some function, that's what you're gonna see here. So on submit we will write some function so that it will handle the change. So on submit will trigger when you press enter. So it will input that particular value whatever you have typed in the text box to the items array. So that is what we are going to see here. So now we are going to define const function, so that is add checklist, and here we are gonna pass the event here as well, and then we are going to make an arrow function. So and we are going to set the items over here. So when you are setting some items for an array, so what you have to do is that you have to define something like this within set items function. You have to pass in an array, and you have to spread the old elements, and then you have to add an object. So here it's an array of objects, so we are going to take an ID, input an ID, and as well as the name. So ID will be obviously like I'm going to use the ID like items.length. So now it is 0, so ID will be ID colon, it will be 0, and then we will add the name. So the name obviously will be whatever we have typed in the text box. So that is checklist. So whenever you add some element, the ID will automatically increase based on the length, and whatever the value that you type in the text box will be added. So it will be an array of objects. So now if you see, we have an empty text box, and we are typing, and we are adding and it is actually refreshing. So what we have to do is that we have to make this event to so we have to do a stop. So we have to do event.prevent default, which stops the component or the page from re-rendering, right? So we have to do this like adding event.prevent default. So this will be taken care by that. So now we will type something again, and it will be so if you press enter, actually it doesn't like clear the text box. We have to do it manually. So what we have to do, we have to do set checklist is equal to empty, so that it will clear the text box. So now updating the add checklist is done. Let us see in the Chrome whether the expected functionality is working. Let's refresh once again and try to do the same thing. Yeah, I think now it is working. Yes. So now let's like define another component which I mentioned, that is like I'm gonna create a new file name checklist.js, and we'll try the like we start entering the basic boilerplate code, like importing the React and defining the function checklist and exporting that. So that is what I'm doing in the coming few minutes. So basically I'm destructuring the list here, and so I have named it as checklist, and I'm going to return this like I'm going to return an HTML from this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an ULLI. So you will see basically what is the ULLI, unordered list. Yeah, now we have added the ULLI, and we have to make a sanity check over here. So the sanity check will check whether the any checklist is already there, and then it will render this particular ULLI. Otherwise we don't want to render this unnecessary stuff over here. So, and I'm going to do an export default of this checklist. So we can import this for now, and after that we will map through it. So now import it, and we are going to pass the like the property, that is items, to the checklist component. So that is what I'm doing over here. So we'll have the same property name. So yeah, so we have added the property checklist to this particular component, and now we have to map through this the checklist item which is coming, so that we can map the ID and name. So there is some issue over here. So yeah, let me try to resolve this. So now you have to map through the checklist, because checklist is an array, so you can map through that, and you can have the reference item, and you have to target the reference like item item dot key sorry, item dot id, which is a unique element, and item dot name. So key is more important when you go with maps or any iteratable components, right? Key is important, so that will be a unique value based on which the React will re-render, do the diffing algorithm, and re-render the component to the screen. So key is much important, so make sure it's always an unique ID, so that it React will take care of the re-rendering. So now there is some issue. Yeah, now the issue is resolved, but checklist is not defined. Yeah, so we have to pass the items, right? So there's some mistake I have made, and we have passed the items, and there is some error as well. Checklist is not defined. Okay, so okay, so there's a naming conflict. So I have to use a different prop name. So I am gonna use say list item. So this particular prop I can use it there as well. So you have to you will always get this kind of confusion like whenever you are coding, right? So you have to make sure that you are passing the correct name to the component so that it doesn't fail. And let's save this and see it again. Yeah, now finally we would able to see a text box. And don't worry about the CSS guys, like we are just understanding how the state works, and now you can able to see and press enter, and you can able to add this list to the array. So this is how you actually like update the state which is of type array, and you can do similar like this. So then the next thing that we are gonna see here is that so we are going to do some like object of type. So final thing is object. We have seen 4 types, so the now final thing is type object. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just gonna create another input type over here, and I'll like I will show how to update the object as well. So now let's quickly start with the type object. So similarly, like what you have defined for the array, right? You have to do it for the object as well. So you will have give a name and a function name that is equal to use state of an empty object. So where here I'm going to have an like say an f name function first name as an object initial value. So I'm going to define it as state and set state. So that is equal to an use state which takes an object with an empty value, that is first name is equal to an empty. So that is how you define an initial empty object, or not an empty object but an object within some initial empty value. So this is first name. So what I'm going to do is like I'm just gonna copy the same, and name will be first name f name, and value will be state dot f name. So you have to make sure like when you are binding with the correct values in the input value, and then it will be set state. So set state, the same thing, it will be event where it has a target object, inside that you are gonna pass the value. So now what we are going to do is here is that so it's a normal set state, right? But we have to like a structure for an object over here. It doesn't have an f name, so we can't directly set state like that. So what we have to do is like we are gonna create and handle object change function. So there we are gonna pass the event, and let us see how we are updating the state which is of type object, right? So here I am passing the event e as an parameter to this particular handle object change function, and then we are going to destructure from the e. So that is like say name and value. So guys, whenever you're doing it is always okay to try it on your own rather than copying from something, because during that you will commit lot of errors, and that's how you learn things, right? So it is okay to make mistakes, and don't copy a code, or like don't imitate the same thing, and try to do it different. So now what we are going to set state, similarly we did it for the array. We are going to do the previous state, the existing values, and then we are going to update the name, that is value. So this is shortened form how you update the name with value, right? And then we are gonna set state, so it will update the f name. So let us console log this particular state so that you can able to see this state being updated whenever you type, right? So that you can able to see it over there. So now the first one is this one, so second is the one that we had. So if you see, there's an empty object, so whenever we type, it's saying undefined and it's empty, right? So there is some issue, it's been happening. Yeah, so what is the mistake we have did is that if you see in line number, we didn't say e dot target. Actually it is pointing to the event, right? But we have the element inside the target, the name and value inside the target object, so we have to make e dot target. Yeah, now we should probably go, let us open the browser and check it once again. It should work. Yeah, you can see the particular fname, the text box of name fname is working, and you can able to update the particular object with the name fname. So this is how you do update the state with of value type object, right? So that is one of the so we have almost covered all different types of state, like there is number, boolean, string, object and array. So I hope guys this video was very helpful with respect to use state and props, how to prop. So please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for your time.